Welcome back to another Python tutorial. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at variables, which are ways that we can store information. So let's go ahead and start by making a variable. The process of making a variable is very easy. The first thing you're going to do is just declare a name for your variable. So let's go ahead and make a variable now, so let's go ahead and call this one name. After you set a name for your variable, you're going to use the equal sign. And then on the other side of the variable will be the information or the value that you want to store. So for name, let's go ahead and store my name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to store the string Mike, and for strings we have to enclose those in quotation marks, just like that. Okay, if I want to make another variable for my age, we can say age is equal to, and then we can put a number for age. So let's go ahead and put 72. Okay, your variables can also have more than one word in them. If you do have more than one word, it's a good idea to try to make that other word stand out so it's easier to read. One way you can do that is by capitalizing the second part of it. So we have my and then name, but the name has a capital N. You can also use underscores. So you say my underscore name. And there's other ways of doing this, but the main idea is you just want to make it readable. So if you have more than one word in your variable, just make that second part stand out. Okay, so now that we define these variables, let's go ahead and take a look at some things you can do with them. So in the last video, we looked at a print function, where we did something like this, where we did print, and then we had our message inside, like hello world. Okay, we can do something very similar with variables. Instead of putting that message inside of the print statement, you can use the variable instead. So I can print off the variable name, and if I run that code, it prints off the message that was stored under name. Okay, you notice, even though that Mike is a string, when I have it stored inside of a variable, I don't have to put quotation marks around name. If I do put quotation marks around my variable, it's going to convert that variable into just a string, so what it will print off is just the word name. I can also print off age, and it prints off the value that was stored under age. You can also do operations with variables, so let's go ahead and define another number variable. So I'm going to define num1 and num2, and we're going to set the first one equal to 5 and the second one equal to 7, and I can do operations with these, so I can say num1 plus num2, and then to see what that value is, let's go ahead and print it off. And we see that it took the value for num1, which is 5, and it took the value for num2, which is 7, and it added those together. Okay, you can do whatever operations you want to, so you can do multiplication, subtraction, division, whatever normal operations you can do with numbers, you can also do with variables. Okay, you can do something similar with variables that contain strings as well. So right now we have one variable called name, which contains the string Mike. We can also make another one. So let's make another one called greet, and this one is going to be equal to the word hello. So now if I do operations with these, so let's go ahead and start with addition. So if I do greet plus name and run the code, it says hello Mike with no space in between. If you want to fix that, what you can do is just add a space up here. And now it says hello space and Mike. So what this does, it combines the values for each variable. So when they're strings, it doesn't try to do like a math operation with them. It just puts the two strings together. You can also do multiplication with this. So if I do 3 times greet and run the code, let's take a look. So what it does, it repeats the string 3 times. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what happens when we try to do operations between strings and integers. So let's take name plus age and see what happens. Okay, when we do that, it gives us an error, and it's a type error, and basically what this is, you can't do operations between strings and numbers. If you want to put these two values together, what you have to do is convert the integer into a string, and you can do that by saying str, which stands for string, and then just put parentheses around it. So what this does, it takes the integer value that's currently stored for age, which is 72, and converts it to a string. So that when we do the addition now, name is a string, and then this part is a string as well. So it'll just put those two values together like we saw before. And now we see that we have Mike and 72. There's a whole lot more we can do with variables once we learn a little bit more about Python. For now though, we're going to go ahead and end this video. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one.